Hey, what's up everybody? Back with another day of showing you how I am going to build my food plan so that I can make sure to hit my daily macro goals. And today is the first day that I'm doing it on the cut plan. So I'm dropping about 1,000 calories from my bulking plan, 3,700 down to 2,700. So a very different day that I have put together here. On the bulk days, I could just kind of go, yeah, I'll eat whatever and it'll somehow fit. With the cut, it's way different. I have to be much more careful with what I eat and the volume that I eat. So not as many snacks throughout the day. So a very different situation that I'm going into here compared to what I was doing. Do me a favor though, as usual, if you find this video to be helpful, please hit the like button here, maybe even the subscribe button while you're here as well. I do these videos every single day to show you how easy it is to actually build your own macro plans. So let's take a look at how I built this. Again, very, very different, not as much food, and a bit of a different challenge. So let's take a look. Okay, so we have a very different day that I've built here. So just for a little bit of context, previously, like I said, I was eating about 3,700 calories a day during my bulk phase. Now for my cutting phase, what we're actually going to be targeting is 2,422 calories. And that is a more strict cut. So whenever I had to put my numbers in for my cut, I had to choose, do I want to do a 10% cut, which is not nearly as restrictive, but still is putting me into a caloric deficit, or a 20% cut, which is just more intense. It restricts the calories even less. I chose the 20% cut, but with that, that would allow me then to go over my calories every day just a little bit, so that it really falls more into probably about a 15%. So every time I go over calories on my 20%, it's actually getting me closer to like a 10 or 15% cut. So it's still in a caloric deficit overall, but it allows me, it's a little bit easier for me to track if I know that I can go over my calories a certain amount. So I went for the higher 20%, and now my target will be, I want to be at least 1 calorie over my total caloric limit, or less than 50 calories over my caloric limit, similar to what I was doing on my bulk, except it's sort of in reverse here. So I've built today's plan, and you can see here I'm 5 calories over my caloric limit, which means that if my caloric limit was 20% restriction of my calories, and now I'm going over, I'm probably about 15%, which is still putting me into caloric deficit. A lot of numbers there, maybe a little bit confusing. So here's how I built it. I built these the same way as I did my bulking days. I start every single day putting my pre-workout and my post-workout in first. Now, obviously, a lot less calories per day. It's going to be different pre and post workouts. On my pre-workout, very simple, just a scoop and a half of the whey isolate protein powder. I'm not doing anything with it, no additional carbs or anything like that. Similarly, on my post-workout, a little bit different here, a scoop and a half of the isolate whey. And I'm going to do 2 buffalo chicken patties. These patties may get moved to more of a snack at a different point into the day, but just for the sake of sort of calculating the first day and getting my bearings about me with this, I put these chicken patties as part of my post-workout 30 minutes after I'm done working out. So I did those 2 first. That helps me get started on the overall day, and then I started working on the individual meals. First, for breakfast, I went very, very basic. Again, I went from 84 or 85 grams of fat per day down to about 54 grams of fat. So I'm losing 30 total grams of fat. I have to be very careful with my breakfast not to use up too much of my fat allowance, because it then kind of screws me up the rest of the day. So having a breakfast like this one, as you can see here, it has less than 1 gram of fat, makes it easier the rest of my day, that I don't have to be so restrictive on what I am eating as far as the macronutrient contents. So you can see here just a cup and a half of liquid egg whites. If I wanted to here, I could even add something additional in, like 1 egg, just a regular egg. In fact, let's just do that and see what that looks like to my overall numbers. Let's see here. I want I'll just use the Walmart egg here. Let's say 1 egg, change it to breakfast. And this should put me about, well, it's a little bit too high, 75 calories over. And that's probably still okay within my range. It puts me closer to the 10% versus the 15%. So let's just leave this for now. So I could add an extra egg in there if I wanted to and have a cup of flavored yogurt. That's the low-fat, fit and light yogurt. and then a couple of pieces, actually this is just one slice of Ezekiel toast. So normally I would have 2 during my bulk. I'm pulling that back to just 1 here. So still a nice sized breakfast because there's so much egg here. And that's a total of 430 calories, 5.5 grams of fat. You can see that 1 egg added my fat grams up to 5. So quite a bit of jump there just with 1 egg. So let's look at the lunch. Total of 502 calories. This is the Reuben that I was working on last week, but more of a true Reuben with the actual corned beef, the sauerkraut, a couple of pieces of toast, that's the Ezekiel bread there, some of the cheese. The big thing here was the corned beef, which turned out is a pretty good macronutrient meat. I did not realize that it would be so good. Very lean on fat. You can see 1.5 grams of fat with 18 grams of protein, so nice trade-off there. So this would be my lunch, simply this 1 sandwich, and then you can see right in the middle, half a pouch of rice. Normally on my bulk, I would be doing the entire pouch of rice. I'm actually still doing the entire pouch, but splitting it between 2 meals. I'll show you that here in a second. So for dinner, I went with sort of that standard, throw a bunch of stuff in a bowl and eat it type of situation. So the ground turkey meat, the guacamole, the plain Greek yogurt, and the other half of that rice, as well as some salsa. That's all just gonna go into 1 big bowl. I'm gonna mix it, heat it up, and not gonna get too fancy with it. And then you can see at the top here a sweet potato. That, of course, is another standard for me. It takes 6 minutes to warm up in the microwave. So a very quick meal, 705 calories, 26 total grams of fat. So this left me with just about nothing left to eat. Now, of course, if you watch my previous videos, usually by this time I'd still have about 1,000 more calories to try to fill in with snacks and some different things. Well, because I'm eating 1,000 calories less, very different. So the only snack that I've got here throughout my day are 2 chocolate rice cakes. And I don't even like rice cakes that much, but they're a nice low-calorie snack, excellent for some carbs, and be a nice snack. Now, as I mentioned before, my post-workout, I might move these buffalo chicken patties to something more like a snack in between some of my meals. But overall, with this build being the first day, my targets are just about where I want them to be. My calories, I think, are just a little bit high for a cut, but they were so restricted anyway with going 20% over instead of 10% over that it's okay for me to go over just a little bit of my total calories. The main thing is I want my protein to be higher than everything else, and it is 16.8, and then my carbs next, and then my fat last. And I want that set up on every single meal, and that's exactly what we've got here. So for a first day for cutting, very nice. Few things that stand out to me is obviously I'm eating way less, which I think is going to be good for me because I've just been sick of eating so much. On the flip side of this, it's also making me a little bit nervous that it seems like not enough food after eating so much for so long. So we'll see how this goes, but a good day, a good first start, and yeah, then we'll see how today goes, and then we'll readjust and do what we need to for tomorrow. But day 1 in the books for cutting, and I'm excited. Thanks for all for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.